All right, we're live. Hello,
Did you guys
hello.
go on
Good
mute?
morning. Good morning.
Okay,
We
so
are
I couldn't hear you.
just, will you mute LeeAnn? Good morning. Good morning. We are on. I am on with some of the most amazing dog moms and cat moms, and we are excited to share some of our stories as to what inspired us to join pawTree. And I can't wait for you guys to hear their stories either. This is going to be something that we've never done before, but we are so excited for you doing it. Now, if you haven't noticed, you want to reach out to the pet pro that invited you to the live and talk to them about some of our team incentives and some of our company incentives that we have going on, because we've got lots of business overviews and things happening to help you to make a good decision if this is a good fit for you. But I am super excited to introduce these amazing ladies. So let's dive right in. I'm going to actually just ask a question, and then I'm going to ask each one of you to share with us what that answer is. So we're going to start. Let's start with Aimee Johnson, and then we'll go around to LeeAnn and Amy Miles and Jill Palmer. So what did you do before pawTree, or maybe what do you do in while you're doing pawTree? Maybe you have a full-time job, maybe this is a side hustle, or maybe this is your full-time gig. Like, what did you do before pawTree?
So I've actually been in the social selling space for 10 years, and I love it. I love the flexibility. I love all that it does, but we change a lot in 10 years. So what I started doing 10 years ago was wonderful and magical, and where I was at that time. And then you evolve a little bit and you change a little bit. And so I was actually just looking for a change, looking for something new and unique. And 10 years ago, I had an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. Now I have a 21-year-old and a 23-year-old. And my dogs are my babies now, and I spend a lot of time with them, and I post about them. And so I made the transition from a full-time position with the other direct sales social selling company to pawTree. So this is all I do. I'm hitting it hard because I do fully intend to make this my full-time job, and it's exactly where I want to be. So currently, this is it. This is all I do.
I love that. And Amy and I just met a couple of months ago, and it's been really fun to watch her because she got over $800 in bonuses last month, and it's been wildly fun. So let's move on to LeeAnn. I'm not sure where LeeAnn went. Okay, we're going to move on to Amy Miles.
Hey guys. So I am a former first grade, second grade teacher, and I taught for 23 years in the public schools here in Texas. And I have a passion for helping others. I have a passion for teaching. And there was just a lot of stress, that comes along with being a teacher. And so that was really, it was making me sick because I would put so much of myself into teaching, and but mentally and physically, I just kind of had to find something else to do because my doctor had begged me for 3 years, find something else to do. And so I came across pawTree, and also I have an online tutoring program that I also do. And I've been able to be a stay-at-home mom for the past 3 years, be a dog mom, and share with other pet parents, ways to help their pets be happier and healthier, and also to provide another form of income with them. And but yeah, that's my story.
I love that. I love that. So former teacher. Now, do you do pawTree full time?
I really kind of do pawTree full time. I mean, I do a little bit of online teaching, spelling, but most of my time is spent with pawTree, and it's because I just love it. It's fun. I have a great group of friends, and just being able to help educate pet parents and share with them. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. LeeAnn, what did you do before pawTree, or what do you do besides pawTree? And I think she might be frozen. So Jill, let's move on to Jill. She's our kitty mom of the group.
Hi,
I'm so happy to be here. So what did I do before pawTree? I have worked in the medical field. I worked at hospitals, but I also worked with the public. I was a server for years. But right before I started with pawTree, I worked for an eye doctor for 4 years. I was a tech. So I did the testing, like Humphrey Visual Field, OCT, stuff like that. And then I actually came across pawTree by accident and did all the research, reached out to you, Elka. And right now, that's pretty much all that I do. I mean, I help care for my dad. He's been ill, but all I do right now, I'm fortunate enough to stay at home and just do pawTree.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. LeeAnn, how about you? Are we going to get to have LeeAnn? LeeAnn, can you hear us? Can you come off mute? No, I see her moving. Okay, so unfortunately, we're going to have to move on to the next one. So this next question is, I would love for you guys to give a quick introduction. Who are you? Where are you from? And what inspired you to take on a pawTree business? Aimee Johnson, let's start with you.
I'll go first. Real quick. You've got someone in the waiting room. There she is, Trisha.
I've got her.
I'm like, I'm here.
I'm here. Let me in. Okay, so I'm Aimee Johnson. I am actually in Missouri. We ended up here after my husband retired from the military. Grew up in California. Social butterfly. Love all the things. You know what really hit me is, so I was researching. I've actually got dogs at my feet at the moment. I was researching the company because I really wanted to figure out if this was a good fit for me. And the line that I keep going back to that really hit me and resonated me was if you know better, would you do better? And that just played over and over again in my head because the pet industry is such a confusing industry. You walk down the pet aisle of 1,000 different types of pet food. If your pet has an issue, you don't know what to do. All we know to do is go to the vet. You know, there's just so many things, and you can Google and you can find a million different things on Google about your pets. And we want, our pets are an investment. They're part of our family. We want to take the best care of them, but we don't really know what to do. It's just there's not a lot of information out there in regards to pet health. And so just in my research and seeing the things, and the other thing that I loved was that we could try anything risk-free. That I could try different supplements, I could try different things to see if they worked good for my pet and if my pet would use them or like them, and if I wasn't happy, there was this guarantee. So that gave me peace of mind that I could offer something to someone with literally no risk. Because as someone who's offering something, you want to believe in your product. You want to know that if they're unhappy, they're going to be taken care of. And so as I was learning about all of these incredibly healthy ways to take care of my dogs, I have four short-legged dogs, 3 dachshunds, and a corgi. So they're all short-legged. All short-legged dogs are prone to back issues and hip issues. So I want to give them the best, and I want to make sure they're as healthy as possible. So I get to learn and be educated on taking the best care of my pets. I get to help other people to do the same thing. And there's literally no risk for myself or for someone that I share this with. So it was just a no-brainer. And I literally the more I learned, the more excited I got. And I went, this is where I'm supposed to be. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Welcome, Trisha. We're trying to get LeeAnn in, but I'm struggling to get her to be part of the stream. There she is. So let's move on to Trisha. We haven't heard from you yet. So Trisha, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what inspired you to join pawTree.
Yes. Thank you. So glad to be here. I'm happy to be here. So I am Trisha, as you said. I live in Utah, so not too far from you, Elka. And I joined 8 years ago. I've been with the company since the day they launched. And the reason is because I was looking for something different. Similar to Aimee's story, I was able to hear you backstage. It was similar that I'd been in the appraisal industry before that. So real estate was my background and I loved it, but I just was getting kind of burnt out and thought, is this really what I'm going to be doing all the way till I'm 60, 65? Like, am I going to retire as an appraiser? I didn't want that to be the case. So I was looking. We were at a place where we were just kind of living a pretty decent life, paycheck to paycheck. So we weren't saving a lot, but we weren't really experiencing a lot. We were just we were fine, and I love the idea of potential. Like, man, I was asked in the very beginning, like, what would I do with extra time? What would I do with extra money? And it was the first time, honestly, in my life that I allowed myself to dream of what was possible. So that's why I jumped in, because I thought, man, could this be my ticket? Could this be my vehicle to help me get what I want, which is vacations with my family, the time freedom, being able to have my own business. I had my other business. My appraisal business was my business, but it was one of those things it wasn't unlimited potential. It was something that if I worked, I got my paycheck. If I worked, I got my paycheck. It wasn't this, I would have had to work a lot more to make a lot more money. So it was just exciting. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm still here, because it's been quite a journey, at times a roller coaster, but just so rewarding in the end. So helping the pets and helping our financial situation's been wonderful. So.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. LeeAnn, can you hear us? Come off of mute if you can hear us. You're on mute.
I can hear you.
LeeAnn, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? What's your name? Where are you from? And what inspired you to start a pawTree business?
So I'm LeeAnn Stidham. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I am a military veteran service wife and mom. And the reason pawTree inspired me was I seen the difference that it made, not only in my pets in 3 months, and I seen there was an opportunity to be able to quit my 40-hour-a-week job. And so I was like, I have nothing to lose by giving it a try. So first I was like, I'm just going to buy dog food and for my own pets. And then I seen the difference it was making in my pets. And I was like, well, I need to shout this to the mountaintop. I need to share this with everyone. So then I started sharing it with my friends, and they were like, wow, this is pretty cool. I want to join too. So it definitely was a big thing for me, because I was able to quit my full-time job and be home with my husband and my dogs. So that was huge to me. And
Oh, I hate it when we freeze. I hate it when we freeze. Oh no, she's frozen. Well, if you couldn't hear, she had her dogs barking in the background. Every day is bring your dogs or cats to work day. And that's what we love about pawTree. So you'll get to hear more from LeeAnn in just a moment. Hopefully we'll get back to her. So Aimee Miles, tell us a little bit about you and what inspired you to join pawTree.
Okay, so I'm Aimee from Texas. I live in the East Texas, and so as I first began, I was a former teacher for 23 years, and so I had started my tutoring business, and so I came away from the school systems, and I have been searching for the best dog food for my Cocker Spaniels, because he had chronic ear infection, skin allergy issues, constantly itching, licking, and all that kind of stuff. And so, going to the pet stores or to the grocery stores and trying to find the best food, and just when I thought I found the best food, well, what do you know? There's a recall on it. And so I came across one of our pet pros, and she was like, you need to try our food. And I said, okay. I mean, what, and there was a guarantee, and I was like, I've tried everything else. So anyways, she also asked me, she was like, would you like to be in the business? And I was like, no, that's okay, because I have my tutoring business. And she was like, well, if you join the business, you can get a discount on your products. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. And so anyways, I went ahead and signed up to be a pet pro. And I went all in with all pawTree's products. I mean, 100% pawTree. And I noticed a big difference with my Cocker Spaniels. I didn't have to take him to the vet for ear issues, allergies, and stuff like that. And so it made me really excited. And I wanted to share this with other pet parents. And so I'm full in doing pawTree for the past 2 years. It's allowed me to be that mom, because I have one teenage son, And I was thinking yesterday, I was like, wow, I actually get to go to his track meets. You know, if I was still teaching in the school systems, I wouldn't get to go do that, you know. And I've been able to be a part, to be more a part of what he's involved in school, you know. Also, you know, my husband has his own business, and I'm able to be his secretary. And so that's allowed me, now I have something to wake up for every morning instead of, you know, for the past 23 years, I would get up in the morning, teach, come home, take a nap, cook, and go back to bed. But for the past 2 years, for the past 2 years, I mean, I make myself go to bed so that every morning I can wake up and share the opportunity and to help pets. And pawTree.
Oh, she's frozen too.
Traveling all across the United States. And so, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aimee. As you can see, she moved on to our next question as to what pawTree has done for you. So super exciting. Y'all will hear from others as well. So let's hear from Jill. Jill, who are you? Where are you from? And what inspired you to start a pawTree business?
My name's Jill Palmer. I live in Pennsylvania, about an hour north of Pittsburgh. And actually, I never even heard of pawTree. I came across it by accident. I was at home, not working at the time. My dad became ill, and I was fortunate enough to kind of care for my dad and stay at home. And my husband has started doing photography. So I was Googling some, like, you know, some information about photography and maybe trying to help him with a side gig. He doesn't take pictures of people so much. It's more nature, animals. And I thought, what about pets? That would be great, you know? So I was online, and I don't know what I clicked on, but I saw pawTree and I saw another company. So I went into it and I was just like blown away. I'm like, wait a second, I can do this. I think this is for me. So I started researching it, and I watched all the videos. I watched Roger Morgan. I was so impressed with Roger Morgan and what he stood for and his standards. I saw Trisha, I saw you, Elka, and I thought, okay. I thought about it a little bit, watched it the next day, researched the products, and I love the fact that it was natural and holistic, because I thought, well, that's what I do. Why not do it for my pets? So I reached out to Elka. I just kind of messaged her, and I don't remember what I said. I'd have to look back on the message.
You were like, I want in. Tell me about this pawTree stuff.
And Elka, I think we set up a time and we talked, and I was just like, yeah, of course I had a million questions, but and the rest is history. And that was a year ago. March 24th was when I actually signed up. Yeah. Yay. And right now,
happy pawversary. And
thank you. And right now, that's all I'm doing. I mean, I still care for my dad, so I'm not like full time. It depends on the day, you know, like part time. But I absolutely love it. It's so fulfilling and so rewarding.
Oh my gosh, perfect words. Absolutely perfect words. And this is something that I've been a part of. My anniversary is also March 1st, but 2014. And so we love this. How great. So you heard Aimee. What pawTree has given her is Aimee Miles, is what pawTree has given her is the opportunity to be at all of her son's track meets and that. And I want to hear, what has pawTree given you in a year? Aimee Johnson, in a couple of months, what has pawTree given you? Let's start with Trisha. What has pawTree given you, Trisha?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start. So I'll keep it brief. I mean, the things that I was motivated by in the beginning was money, obviously. Money, I wanted a different life. And what I'm so surprised by is the self-development. Like yesterday, I was kind of taking a blast from the past and going back to try and find some old pictures from 2012. And that was before pawTree. So I was going through my Facebook, scrolling. And the things I was consumed with and posting about and what I would write were so entirely different to who I am today and what I stand for today. And Aimee, you kind of said the same thing. Like, a lot happens in 10 years, right? There's so much that can happen in 10 years. And I love who I've become. And it's all because of pawTree. I've just really focused on self-development, improving my leadership skills, improving my confidence. And it's not perfect for sure. I'm always on a journey to just improve myself and learn and grow. And so that's what it's done for me. It's provided financially for us. I can't even tell you the different life that we have now. I mean, my husband today is going to look at investment properties that we may purchase. I mean, so financially, it's amazing, right? I mean, we had our best paycheck last month, our very, very best ever, which is, it was the same in February. February was our best month ever, and we were able to beat it in March. So we just continue to see financially the impact. But like I said, what surprised me the most is the friendships, the self-development, and who I've become as a result. Like, COVID didn't do anything to me. I had such a great positive outlook on life, and everything's fine. And I know it's because of the mental capacity, like just what I've learned mentally. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just been such a gift. Honestly, my life's totally different, such a better outlook and positivity. So
I
that's what
have
I'd
to
say.
add on. I have to add on to that. This industry is a personal development program with a compensation plan. And I can sit here with all the testament in the world and say, Trisha, I've experienced the same thing as you. So I'm so glad that you shared that. That's what pawTree has given you. And everybody's raising their hands because that it really is. And so I love that you started us off that way. Jill, will you share with us, what has pawTree given you in the last year?
It has been, pawTree has given me passion back, to wake up and to make a difference. I've grown up with animals. I always had dogs. I have cats now. My husband's a cat lover. And I want a dog. We're working on that. I'm trying to talk him into that, but, he loves cats, and I just have a purpose now. And the fact that to own my own business and, to grow, like Trisha was saying, I have more confidence. It's getting out there and talking with people. I love to talk with people. So that isn't like a obstacle for me, but just learning the products and making a difference. What has been so rewarding is hearing the positive feedback from our products. And I'm a believer. I have seen the benefits of the products with my own pets and with so many customers. So it has given me purpose. This is the first time I've done a job where I get excited. I can't wait to start the day and get to talk to people, to see how the pets are making a difference, or I'm sorry, how the products are making a difference with their pets. So I'm looking forward to many, many more years of doing pawTree, and hopefully someday be, where you and Trisha are, extremely, successful and making a difference with all, not only pets, but with people's lives. And I love pawTree. I'm a believer.
Guys, did that hit your heart? If that hit your heart, drop some fire emojis down there, man. I'll tell you, giving somebody purpose is such a big deal. And being a part of our children's lives, and now being able to do something. And Trisha said her husband's going to look investment properties. Like, who doesn't want to have that? How exciting. So Aimee Johnson, I'm excited because you've only been with us for a couple of months, and I want to hear, just in those few months, what has pawTree given you?
So I left a full-time direct sales job. And so my goal moving into this, it was never, and I told Elka this from the beginning, I said, I'm going to hit this hard. I'm not going to get in and see how things go, because I can't. You don't leave a full-time income and move to a part-time iffy income. You need that income. So what I love is pawTree has totally allowed me to do that. I mean, I've not been with the company long. I've promoted 3 times. I've earned a bunch of bonuses. My paycheck's looking pretty. So this has really allowed me to move into something that I feel really, really good about, that has all of these incredible bonuses and opportunities. And again, some people are going to choose to do this as kind of a part-time thing. For me, we have this joke in my house that I can't have a boss because I don't like being told what to do. So for me, I need to do something where I'm the boss, and I'm not a morning person. So I roll out of bed slowly and I get my coffee, and needing to be at a job and productive first thing in the morning doesn't work well for me. So in order for me to continue to get up and get my coffee in my robe and start my day, I have to work this as a business. And I love that, gosh, my community was already so full of pet lovers. And when I shared with them what we had to offer, they just jumped on and they were so curious about what this was. So again, the biggest thing for me that pawTree has given me is just that I've been able to really transition pretty smoothly from one thing to another. To just, I knew I came into this with a business mindset. I came into this as this is going to be my full-time job. I'm going to earn a full-time income, and that takes a little bit of time. But I'm very impressed with my first month and happy with the income that I'm seeing. So I know it's not going to take long at all for me to get to what I was earning with 10 years experience in my prior company. And that's blowing me away, literally blowing me away. And again, that's not going to be for everyone, but it is possible if you're willing to work it. And if you're willing to come in with a business mindset, and if you have if you're set as I'm coming in and I want to make this work and this is going to be my job, because it is a job. It is fun and we love it, but this is a job. You treat it like a job, you work it like a job, and you're going to earn an income. And the coolest thing about social sales, guys, is you literally get to write your own paycheck. Kind of like Trish said earlier, she knew what she was going to make based on her income. If you want to make more money, if you have something major going on in your life or a goal or a vacation, you can literally write your paycheck in this business. You can say, I'm going to up it. I'm going to hit the ground running. I'm going to reach out to a few more people today that I can help to bless with our products. And you can literally increase and write your own paycheck. Where else can you do that? You cannot walk into a boss and say, hey, I think I want to make $1,000 more this month. I mean, that would be a really nice boss, but in general,
I love that. Look, they're dropping.
I see some fire emojis, but seriously, this is.
Yep, they're dropping the fire emojis.
And just think about your community, how many people have pets and that you are able to help them. I always say the only bad thing about dogs is they don't live as long as we do. That is their only fault. So why not give them the absolute best while they're here with us and help them to be here as long as possible with us? So there's my 2 cents.
Man, that was beautiful. So two things I want to jump in that she said. First of all, she says, wake up, put on her robe, and starts her day. What other job allows you to wake up, grab your coffee or your Dr. Pepper, put on your robe and spoon with your dogs and your cats before you get started for the day? Like, come on, friends. Like, that's pretty amazing. And number 2, she talked about treating this as a business, right? Anytime you step into this industry, how many of you guys have hobbies? Raise your hands. I'm sitting in my hobby called a Jeep, and hobbies are expensive. But businesses, you spend money on hobbies and you make money in businesses. And like Aimee just said, you treat it like a business that's going to provide to you like a business. And so super powerful. And I'm so glad that you said that. So let's jump over to LeeAnn. I'm so glad. I'm sorry you've had some troubles. But LeeAnn, I would love to hear from you. Like, what is something that pawTree has given you? We got to unmute you.
Help change a lot of, I'm sorry. pawTree has gave me my life back. I have been able to do a lot of things that I couldn't do before. I don't have to go get injections in my back anymore. I used to have to go get injections because I was so stressed out from my 9-to-5 job. Every 3 months I'd have to go get those injections. So that was huge for me to be able to call my doctor and say, hey, I don't need that anymore. The pain's gone. And so the pain was gone because I love helping pets and I love helping people. So that was huge for me. Mine and my husband's 20 or 31st anniversary, I was able to pay and take us to Ireland. That was huge for me because I could pay for it myself and I didn't have to ask him, hey, let's save some extra money so we can go on this trip. No, I was able to say, guess what? I've already bought our tickets. We're going to Ireland. And he was like, what? Because he had promised me, being in the military, when he came back, that he always wanted to go to Ireland. And that was one thing that was in the back of my head. How can I get him there? Right? And that was it. pawTree was the answer. pawTree's the one that did it for me. And so that's huge for me. And then for me also is financial freedom, right? I was able to get a Jeep that I never thought I'd be able to get. And I'm absolutely loving it. My dogs are absolutely loving it, right? and it gives me something to go to events and everything in. So that was huge for me. And also just the community of pawTree, all the people, you know, all the love. They stand behind me, so it just makes me want to move forward.
I love that. In fact, LeeAnn is taking us right into our next question that I always love to ask because I think that we have a twist on our community. I believe that our community is unlike any community out there in this industry. And so LeeAnn said it. She loves the community. So I don't need all of you to talk unless all of you are super passionate about this, but I would love to hear and just come off of mute. What do you love about A, our company community, and B, our team community? What makes us different than everybody else? Who wants to go first?
I can jump in. I don't want to do all the talking, but the thing I love about our community, we are a company that everybody, one of our culture, like one of our vision statements, one of the things that Roger emphasizes, he's our founder and CEO, every single time we get together is we read these leader declarations. And one of them is we treat every pet pro as if they are on our team. And I see that time and time and time again. We have an amazing Facebook group that's a company-wide Facebook group that people will go in there and pop on, you know, put questions in there. And within minutes, you get answers from everybody saying, this is what I've done. This is what's working for me. Here's some pictures you can use. It's an amazing community that just really, they want to lift each other. I think everyone, in my opinion, it's if one rises, we all rise, right? It doesn't matter what team we're on. And I really see that playing out in our team culture. And it started with Roger, you know, him and his integrity, but it's just carried through the pet pros too. So I'm really proud of that aspect.
Me too. I love you. And I'm so glad that you shared that. Who else would like to share? Raise your hand or come off mute. Okay, go ahead, LeeAnn, and then we'll have Jill.
For me, it was Paw Fest. I'd never been to Paw Fest. It was my very first Paw Fest. I'd only been in the company 4 months, and I was scared. I didn't want to go, and my husband kept saying, if you're going to make this a business, you've got to go. So I had to pull up my panties, and I had to say, I'm going. And it was the best decision I ever made. I was so welcomed. Everybody come and said, hi, how are you? Some of them even knew me already. And it was so exciting. And the best thing was I got to meet Roger, the CEO of pawTree. And that was huge to me because I got to come home and tell everybody. And I was just like, you're not going to believe who I met, pictures and everything. And the biggest thing for me also was the community around the Paw Fest. Not only home office, but the pet pros and just the love that I got from everyone. And seeing everybody go on stage was huge for me, And I had my very first pet pro that came with me, and we had such a blast. But we seen Elka and we seen our leaders going on stage, and I looked at her and she looked at me, and we were like, we're going to be on there next year. Now, you say things like that, right? But it came true. We were on stage the next year, and it was so powerful.
Oh, and let me just do a little shout out to LeeAnn. Not only did she take stage, but she was top 5 in the company in sponsoring and sales that first year that she came in. So that's powerful. You guys can step up and do anything that you put your minds to. So I love that you shared that. Jill, share with us, what do you love about the community?
So I just wanted to say real quick, within the first year, I would have, when I had time, I was on here. And if I had a customer that had a question, and sometimes I kind of thought that I knew the answer, but I wanted to double check. I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And I have to agree with Trisha. It's the first thing that comes to my mind when I would go on chat. And there's different ones that I would go on to try to get an answer. I would have numerous people responding, and it was not only educational for me to learn more about the products myself, and the different benefits but to actually hear the testimonies of how it helped somebody else's pet, and I have to say that the response were not just very vague. They were very, very specific. And they would give me ideas. Did you ask this? Did you, well, find out this, and see what else we can help with. And not only did it benefit the customer, it benefited me for the future. So I love our community. I think everybody has been so encouraging and so supportive and so helpful. And like Trisha said, even with not our team, anybody would just respond. So I recognize names, even though, you know what I mean, that are on different teams or whatever, but they've always responded very quickly. So I am so grateful for our community and the encouragement and the support that they give each other, all the other pet pros.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And you know what? I'm going to actually take this opportunity and I'm going to jump into the reason why I asked you guys to do this live. You know, Aimee Johnson inspired this. She's like, I'm a professional dog mom. Does that count? Because I was asking in our Facebook team group, I was like, if you're a pet professional, what do you do? And I made all these poll questions and Aimee Johnson comes in. She's like, excuse me. I am a professional dog mom. And I thought, you know what? I need you and several of you to go on live. And here is why I asked you to come here today specifically is, you guys, how many of you that are out there listening right now are just an amazing pet parent? You love your fur babies unconditionally. You want to have the best, but you're not an expert and you don't know everything, right? And I'm going to be honest, I spent 20 years in the veterinary industry. And in the 8 years I have been in this pawTree business, I have learned more about pets and nutrition than I ever did 20 years in the veterinary industry. So I brought these amazing women on today to share with you that you don't have to be an expert. You have to be passionate. You can come from anywhere. And as Aimee Johnson, you saw her cute little baby corgi, like you just have to love what you do. So guys, are you guys experts in pet nutrition? No. Do you have to be an expert in pet nutrition to be a part of our community? No, but we empower other people and change the lives of pets in this. We have personal development. You heard it here. We have pet nutrition. Like we have our vet advisory council. We get to meet every year at our company conferences. They go live with us throughout the year. We have Brooke Sloat, who's in products and development. And our founder, he strictly says, I'll give you your money back personally if you're not happy with the products. Like they have our backs and they have our pets' backs. But more than anything, I would love to just wrap this up for you guys to look at these women and say, if they can do it, I can do it. Because they all came from different backgrounds. They all have different experiences, and we all joined because our passions and our visions are exactly the same. So with that being said, is there anything you guys are just like oozing? You're like, I just have to share this and share this with all the dog moms and the cat moms that are watching, that if you can do it, they can do it too. What would you like to say to them?
I'll jump in real quick. I think the biggest thing is, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Your life could literally be changed 6 months to a year from now. You jump in, you give it your all. You take a look. You take a look at the products. You share with your community. You just give it some effort and you see. And if you don't love it, guess what? You get to walk away. It's your choice. That's part of how all this works, is you absolutely have the choice to walk away. But what could your life look like a year from now? Like what could the blessings be that come out of this? And if you have pets, the worst case scenario here is that you join and your pets get healthier and they get into better shape, and then you choose to walk away and you're still going to use the products because you're going to see how phenomenal they are. So worst case scenario, your pets get healthier. Now, my very first team member actually lost her pet and doesn't even have pets. So if you're watching and you don't have pets, but you love pets, Miss Elka, when she joined, she didn't have pets. So you don't have to be a pet parent like we are, but if you're passionate about helping pets, you literally have nothing to lose to try this. And so if you don't have pets, then the worst case scenario is you've helped some people to have healthier pets and to potentially help the cases or the issues that their pets are going through. That's the worst case scenario in this situation. So you know what? Fear is going to keep you exactly where you are. And there's literally nothing to fear in this situation, but instead dream a little and see where you could be, 6 months, a year from now, because it could change your life. I'm someone who's been in the industry for 10 years and will tell you it will change your life. So take a chance. We're here for you.
Mic drop
love
between
that. Trisha,
Elka
go ahead.
and Aimee. I think that was like mic drop moments, right? I 100% wholeheartedly agree. I have nothing else to add because you both nailed it. Yeah.
Okay, so what does this bring us to? You guys, we are hoping that you were inspired by somebody that you saw today. And I want you to know that over the course of this month, we have the opportunity to do lots of things. Now, on Team Endless Possibilities, we've got some special incentives for enrolling with product pack kits. And I'm not going to tell you, you got to reach out to the person that brought you here because it's a secret. It's top secret. But here's the thing. If you want to know the ins and outs, you want to know what we do as pet pros, you want to know how we get paid, you want to learn about the brand, you want to hear the pawTree story, I invite you to check out a business overview. We have several of them going on. So talk to your pet pro that has invited you to watch this today and say, I want more details about this business. And they're going to invite you to our business overview, where you're going to learn all the details, where you get to take a look and see if it's a good fit for you. It was a good fit for us. And if any of you we're definitely related to any of these powerfully beautiful women that are pet loving and business minded people, then I invite you to come take a look at the pawTree business, because we cannot wait to welcome you to the other side. And like Aimee said, in order to do something that you've never done before, you have to be willing to do something that you've never had, something that you've never experienced, because you're never going to be alone in doing this. There are hundreds of wildly successful pet pros waiting for you on the other side to help you to become successful and knowledgeable. So don't waste any more time. But I invite you to check out our schedule, because we've got more lives coming with pet professionals, dog trainers, veterinary technicians, breeders. But you've heard it here first from all of our amazing dog and cat moms. Thank you guys so much for coming today. And we can't wait to welcome you to the other side. Thanks, guys. Have a beautiful day.